Some of the world's most dangerous flashpoints are in Asia, as are some of our closest allies, and these are critical relationships to foster. Deputy Secretary of State Blinken is just back from the region. We welcome him to the committee. America is a Pacific power, and we must act like one. This committee has played a leading role in shaping U.S. policy toward Asia. We took the lead imposing tough sanctions on North Korea, on highlighting human rights in Southeast Asia, and in strengthening our alliances with democracies in the region. Introduce Mr. Blinken and have your testimony, and then we'll hear from the ranking member when he arrives. Thank you, Tony.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very, very much. And to members of the committee, thank you for having me here. It's very good to be back to discuss our rebalance to the Asia-Pacific region. I just got back from my 6th visit to the region in a little over a year. And with each trip, I have to tell you I've seen growing dividends of this effort to rebalance our focus on the region and to strengthen a rules-based, institutions-based order that is advancing our interests and increasingly not only in the region but globally. As you said, Mr. Chairman, really nowhere in the world are economic and strategic opportunities clearer or more compelling than in the Asia-Pacific region, home to 4 of our top 10 trading partners, 5 of our 7 treaty allies, the world's largest and fastest growing economies, including 40% of overall global growth, nearly 2/3 of the global middle class, and of course some of the most wired and innovative people in the world. Over the last 7 years, this rebalance to Asia, that is deepening our strategic, economic, and diplomatic ties with the region commensurate with its importance, has helped shape a positive trajectory in the region. We've given substance to the rebalance by bolstering our treaty allies, deepening engagement with emerging powers, strengthening regional institutions, promoting trade and investment, enhancing our military posture, advancing democratic reform, and creating new networks of trilateral and multilateral relationships.
Thank you. Let me turn to another topic. I don't know that we've discussed Bangladesh at any length this morning. I think they clearly deserve more attention than they often have received, either by this administration or just in a whole range of things. But first of all, as we all know, an election was held a while back, and Sheikh Hasina was reelected. Of course, Khalida Zia and her party boycotted the election, and so the political situation is, I think, a bit iffy there. But let me ask you this. Bangladesh has long been considered a moderate Muslim country and resisting Islamic radicalism. There have been a couple of incidences just within the last week where we've seen a gay activist who was murdered. We've seen an English university professor publicly murdered, and it's believed that these are linked to extremist Islamic intolerant type groups. Could you comment on that and what can be done about it?
Yeah, I'm glad that you're putting the focus on that, because that's a concern that we very much share. We've seen a series of attacks, terrorist attacks, in Bangladesh over the last several months, including the ones that you referred to, which Daesh or Al-Qaeda have taken credit for. Now, the government has sometimes claimed that these attacks were actually the work of the opposition in one fashion or another. But what we've seen, based on the evidence to date, is in fact that extremist groups, whether they are indigenous or whether they really are affiliated with ISIL or Daesh, are responsible. And this gives us concern about the potential for ISIL, for Daesh, to take root in Bangladesh, which, as you rightly pointed out, has been an important country in terms of having a moderate Muslim-majority country with a moderate orientation that can be an important player in dealing with the problem of violent extremism. So, as a result of that, we have been both engaging with the government on this problem, but also, for example, with India, given the relationship between India and Bangladesh, to raise the concern and to try to work together with them on countering violent extremism before it takes root in Bangladesh. That's the last thing we want.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shabbat. And
Deputy Secretary, thank you again.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
We stand adjourned.